Welcome to Daily Spiritual Thought. And today's title is Your Mission is to be Human. Today's topic concerns every human being, including you. It's about recognizing that our task in this incarnation is simply to be human. But what does that mean? Is there something to consider? Anything we should know? Something that many people still have no idea about? To be human, to be part of a great human family. When we look around us, we realize that we are part of a diverse and fascinating human family. There are the most different cultures and ways of life. There are as many different lives as there are souls incarnated. Everyone perceives the world differently. Everyone wants to present himself as it suits him. But why do we seem to have such a hard time defining ourselves as a community, as humanity? Basically, we are all the same at the core, and by that I mean our deep-seated desires. So let's flash back to childhood for a moment. When you were 2, 3, or 4 years old, there were no differences for you. It didn't matter if another child came from America, Europe, or Africa. It mattered how they met you. You felt the love and joy within you and shared it with others. And that's what it's all about. We all want to live a life in freedom and harmony, in a wonderful community. Yet we sometimes find it so difficult to bring that into people's minds or hearts. Let's see where we are right now, because experience is the easiest way to see if our behavior is leading us in the direction we want to go. And we realize that the behaviors of most people have led us to withdraw more and more from each other, to separate and divide. Is there a reason for this? As a kid, there wasn't that reason, so we changed something. What happened? The answer to that is quite simple. We merely forgot who we are, and in turn have learned to perceive ourselves as separate from other people. And that leads us to think that we have to fight our way through life. But when we are in fight mode, the goal is no longer community, but division. So that we can generate the greatest benefits for ourselves. This is the evil that has overtaken our society. The problems that have arisen as a result have long since become visible at all levels. What is fascinating is that we can see them on a level that we did not expect. As an example, the more rational a person behaves, the greater emotional problems he gets. And that is why life always leads him to help in this area, because emotionally nothing reaches him anymore. This person is then challenged with emotional people around him who reawaken this aspect in him, which is not so easy, because the more the rationality is in the room, the bigger the emotional problems become. For example, relationship problems. And at the end of their life, such people are often very lonely and not embedded in a loving family. They may have achieved financial success, but at the expense of their own peace of the soul. Because the secret is to be in the middle. We are an energetic spiritual being, but incarnated in a gross physical body. So we are active in two worlds, with our energy body in the invisible world and with our physical body in the material world. That is the challenge. Some people live exclusively in the material world, and emotions, empathy, and so on fall by the wayside. Likewise, there are now people who have recognized this but do not begin to live their new life from the center, but from the opposite side, namely from the emotional, spiritual track. And we notice that these people who consider themselves very spiritual really reject material things. Often they try to learn spiritual techniques in order to leave everyday life behind, assuming that it would make them holier or more enlightened. We find enlightenment only when we move in the middle. We all, as conscious human beings, want to evolve or ascend. But to raise ourselves about the material world, to reject it, but removes us from the development, the ascent more than we think. because we are we are still in this physical body on earthly level and thus part of this earthly community in the here and now. To separate ourselves makes no sense whatsoever. On the contrary, the price is high because the more we separate ourselves, the more we lose access to what it's all about. Our body is part of the life of everything around us and influences each other. And no matter how loving you are, sometimes we just have to say stop to stop. If you have kids, you know you've also slapped them on the wrist because they wanted to reach on the hot stovetop. Were you a bad person because of that? No, you only understood yourself as what you are, a loving being living in a physical world. Even if many people don't want to accept it that way and live only a part of the whole, I hope this is somewhat understandable for you and you realize how important it is to accept and live both sides in life. For now, this is Andreas from Daily Spiritual Thought. Regardless of all the turmoil we all go through, have a wonderful time. Thanks a lot for listening and God bless.